Good morning this fine morning. Welcome to my craft room. My name is Donna. This is Saturday, not Saturday anymore, it's Sunday morning, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there, including mamas of fur babies. You shouldn't be excluded. Um, this is not an idea over my head. It's actually a Mother's Day balloon from one of my precious non-fur babies. I know I'm always messing with my hair. I can't help it. It is clean. It's freshly washed. It's earlier than I normally am up and recording, and I just jumped out of the shower. But this is part of the 3D for you and me hashtag collaboration videos. I'm labeling this week 2.5 because I owe you an apology plus an explanation. My last video, I got my first thumbs down, and quite frankly, I don't blame you. I didn't like it either. That's why I owe you an explanation. It's because I have been so negative about this wonderful book. This is a good book. The patterns in it are lovely. The problem isn't with this book, it's with me. And that's why I owe you an explanation, because people have been discouraged from buying this book and from participating in this along because of me. And I hate that. I really do hate it. So let me give you an explanation as to why I've had the reaction to this book that I have. And maybe it'll encourage you to give this book a try in spite of my difficulties. The first problem is this. So the newer viewers may not have seen this, but the older viewers will have. It's a blanket I started for one of my god grandchildren. I called it the Gigi blanket because she's my god granddaughter. I started with Jada and Stitches, and I fell so in love with this blanket. I just love it. And this square right here, this llama, came out of that book. I used the exact pattern for this llama. The square is Jada's, but the llama itself is out of the book. And it did wonderful. And this is the last row. I loved how these circles were made. I loved making these circles, even though some of them I had to think up on my own because Jada didn't have the patterns for those squares. When I saw that book, I bought it with the mindset that it would be this, but it would tell me how to do the decoration parts. So that was a wrong mindset to go into it with, because they are not these squares. They are different. That's part of it, is I went into it with the wrong mindset, and when they were different, it upset me, threw me into a tailspin, and I didn't know how to handle it. That has a lot to do with my own mental health issues. I have a little bit of OCD and a few other things thrown in there that made me react the way I did. Now, as far as the squares not being the same stitch count, if not for my OCD of needing things to be even and symmetrical, that can be easily fixed. The same way that I bordered the squares in this Afghan. I used the join as you go method, just like Jada does. Excuse me. And I believe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of these per side. When I tested out those squares from the new book, the way I'm doing it, it's pretty much 8 per side. So it can work. And the differences in the stitch counts, that can be compensated for by using, there's 3 stitches in between these, except for on one end there's only 2. That was to get this particular pattern to work with this border. But you could do it, space them closer together or further apart to get what you need. So problem solved as far as putting a border on them goes. But it doesn't work in my mind because I like symmetry. I want those 3 stitches in between. I don't want some with 2 or some with 4. I want it to match my mental health issues. So don't let that discourage you. You can easily compensate, especially those with young, flexible minds. My mind is old. My mind is riddled with mental health issues. So I can't. It doesn't work for me. That's why I've decided to make the circles my way, make the squares my way. That way it'll work with my mind, the way it works. But it's not an issue with patterns. It's my issue. So yeah, it seems like there's something else I was going to say. But I like things symmetrical. If there's a way I do things, I like to keep doing things that way. Like these circles. I just like doing them this way. Because that's the way I've always done them. Doing them the way they are in the book is a perfectly fine way of doing it. It works. It all works out. The other girls are not having that problem. Oh, got an itchy nose. So please don't be discouraged from doing the book. Please don't be discouraged from making the squares the way they are in the book. Because with this border like this, the join as you go method, it could work for all the squares. But that squares wasn't Jada squares, which is what I was expecting in my head, and the mindset that I had toward that blanket. So do the squares the way the book says, if you want to. Go check out Yarn and Pajamas. She's participating with us, and she made the egg square, and it's the cutest thing. I want to make that egg square for a hot pad for my kitchen, and I eventually will. Yeah, go check her out. She's far more encouraging than I am, and they're working out for her, and I think I may have discouraged her a little bit. So girl, please don't be discouraged. Problem solved with the kind of border you use. It's all going to work out. I'm going to do things a little bit different because it's the way my mental health is allowing me to do it. If you suffer like I do, then by all means, do the book too. I will share my standardized square and how I did it. so that if you have a little bit of the OCD just like I do, we'll work together and we'll get it done. I will help you. The blind leading the blind, but I will try to help you. Please join us. Good book, good patterns, bad mind, good crocheter. At least most of the time anyway. You guys, happy Mother's Day. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy your crocheting, even if you're crocheting something different. Just enjoy yourself. That's what this thing is all about, just enjoying yourself. And that goes for Terry too. You can enjoy these squares. If your head isn't messed up like mine, you can enjoy doing these squares the way they're done. And we'll all work it out. So please do it, Terry. I'm begging you. At least make one square. Even if you don't make a blanket out of it, make one square and see how you like it. That's all I'm asking. One square. And if you get addicted to it, keep making them. Until next time, I hope I've encouraged you, and I hope this video has been a better blessing than my last one was. You guys take care and love one another, even grumpy old women like me. Take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.